Hey everyone, and welcome back to May Mission Madness. The series where we cover all the.
Wahoo!
With me today,
I'm excited. It's Mission Impossible 3.
the movie that puts this franchise back on track,
A
even
100%.
even though it feels like the finale in a trilogy.
I mean, yeah, it is the finale in a trilogy, but they did do the thing that I'm convinced can save any franchise, which is casting Philip Seymour Hoffman in it. That does help if you are, running a failing movie franchise. Kevin Feige, if you're listening. Well, not anymore, I guess. But Kevin Feige from like a year ago, if you're listening, Philip Seymour Hoffman will do the trick.
He's dead.
Oh, shit, nobody told me.
I was gonna say, do you not know that Philip Seymour Hoffman died in 2014?
Oh,
He's not just not doing movies anymore, dude. He's kind of dead.
anyways, regardless of whether Philip Seymour Hoffman is alive or not, I thought he was. But
I was
he's
like,
good.
what kind of bit are you going for here? I was like, okay.
Nobody told me. You think I have like an encyclopedic list of which actors are dead? You think I'm like let me consult my mental tome of obituaries?
Do you think he just retired and he's just like, nah, I'm done with movies?
Yes, plenty of people do that. I haven't seen Daniel Day-Lewis and shit recently.
The last movie Philip Seymour Hoffman did was fucking Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2.
Well, that explains why I don't remember it.
Exactly. You think that's the movie he wanted to go out on?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He didn't have like a Lincoln equivalent. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Philip Seymour Hoffman. I would not believe that you would do the Hunger Games as your last movie.
I mean, to go back to what we're talking about with the movie and stuff.
No, Philip Seymour Hoffman is great. This is totally relevant. I think that he's awesome as the villain in this movie.
He's so good as Davian.
Yeah.
He is fucking weird and terrifying. I mean, the opening scene of this movie is such a fucking jab to the gut. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
With him threatening Ethan's wife, and he's like, I'm gonna hurt her.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of shit. Like, his, tone of voice and the way he plays his character is, really fun. It's delightfully evil. And he's probably my favorite villain in this whole franchise.
It's hard to top. I can't think of one that outdoes him.
I have one later down the line where I'm like, I like this guy as a villain. He's pretty cool. But for just this movie, great villain.
Yeah.
He definitely feels like a great nemesis for Ethan Hunt. Unlike the last movie where it was like a darker version of Ethan, who's a guy who just, can do all the things that Ethan does, and he's the same relative build. No, Philip Seymour Hoffman just kind of he has a dad fit. He's got a little bit of a gut. He's not fit, but he's still imposing enough to beat the shit out of people. That's why I say he's dad fit.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean, actually. I fully agree.
I mean, especially with small Tom Cruise and all that stuff, it definitely feels like a guy just beating a kid.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. That was not the direction that I was thinking this interaction was going.
He's imposing. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, he is imposing. I agree with that.
And just a great energy for this franchise. I think this was also one of J.J. Abrams' first forays into big budget movie making.
I believe that is true. I would have to look it up, but I believe that is true.
Because I know he did Alias and Lost and all that other stuff. So he had his name on TV, but then he went on to do movies, and this was the franchise that he was all right, I'll take on the Mission Impossible franchise, and it just blew up his career. And honestly, he does a really good job in this film. I don't hate J.J. Abrams as much as other people do. I definitely think that he should not do sequels to his own movies.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't know if you knew this about me. I don't know if many people knew this about me. Viewers, you might be learning a new fact here, but I actually thought Lost was really cool. Okay. So I have been in the J.J. Abrams, I think that there's a lot of stuff that he does that is very cool. And I think that this is no exception. I think he does a lot right with this movie.
The action's really good, especially going off from the last movie where it's just fucking ridiculous. The action in this movie is really tense. The real opening action sequence where they go to get Carrie Russell is really well done. And it has a little bit of that John Woo flavor with them throwing the gun and her catching it. But otherwise, it's really tactical. He's wearing a tactical vest and all that stuff. It's really cool. And hot damn, the tension with the bomb going off in her head.
Yeah.
So good. That scene is so well done. And because they're in a helicopter. Nothing's going right. The machine is falling out of the
Yeah.
helicopter. And the way when it detonates in her head is so terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you see it in her eyes, just like the, and that's it. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. It's funny. This is a little bit tangential, but it's interesting to think of this as being one of the more influential scenes in a Mission Impossible movie, specifically because I distinctly remember a scene in Metal Gear Solid 5 that is modeled one for one after this scene from Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's much grosser in Metal Gear Solid, but like I still think it's interesting that that scene has kind of had that impact, and it's like deserving of it. It's a really good scene.
I also think what he does with this film with Ethan as a character is it feels like a natural progression of the Ethan we got in the first movie, where he's now settled down and kind of like trying to get some of that normal life. What is a normal life for a guy who has to like put himself on the line every time he gets called out? And so he's just like, I don't know if I still want to do this. Like, I really like this girl. We're going to get married. And, like, there's so much going on here. I just can't. I don't want to bring my shit into her world.
Right.
And it's really well done. I like this version of Ethan a lot. I mean, more we get down into the other movies, I start to like that version of Ethan, but like feels like a nice progression of the one from the first movie where he's just a guy. And, and really the cool Mission Impossible stuff is just him under pressure, just like, I have to figure out a way to get this guy. I have to figure out a way to save my wife. I'm under the clock here. I have to fucking like do all this shit.
Yeah. I think it works well, and it brings Ethan back to being a very human character in a way that he didn't really feel like he was in MI2, to my recollection.
No, not at all. He felt like a stereotypical action hero. Especially, again, we're talking about like the objectification of Tandy Newton from the last movie. Like, it felt like, okay, action hero saves day, gets a hot girl. In this movie, it's definitely more like one of the opening moments of the movie is him at an engagement party.
Yeah.
And you just get to see him like interact with normal people who do not know what he actually does for a living. And it's kind of interesting to see this guy have to lie about being in the transportation business.
Right. Doesn't he say he works at the DMV or something?
Yeah, something like that. Just like he monitors like street signs and shit like that.
Right. Well, I'm remembering. I think it is distinctly the DMV because I seem to recall one of the ending lines of this movie is, "You don't really work at the DMV, do you?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One thing that I do think is a carryover from the last film, I don't really like his team aside from Luther. Like, the team in this movie is just kind of like, okay, hi Maggie Q, hi random Irish guy. Both of you won't show up in the next movie.
We haven't landed on Benji until Ghost Protocol, correct?
No, Benji's in this movie because, again, like, he was a friend of J.J. Abrams, and he was like, you want to be in the movie? He was like, sure.
Yeah. And I like that role. If they got one thing right, I did think that was good.
Yeah, and you get to see the start of this relationship in this movie. And I think that's actually kind of cool, like, in this long-going franchise, you actually see the moment they became friends.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's kind of cool. I think that's, like, a really neat detail. Definitely, like, more as a retrospective stance, but it's kind of cool. Yeah.
I agree.
I think another thing I really like about this movie, especially with talking about the wife character, the way she steps up at the end is actually pretty damn cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's different, too, because he's got the bomb in his head. He has to shock himself, but it kind of kills him in that moment. So she now has to gun down the rest of the henchmen and the surprise main villain.
Right.
Like, and my favorite moment of the film is when she, like, brings him back, and Ethan, like, grabs the gun and points it at the guy's body. He's just like, you did that? Like, even he's, like, impressed, like, holy shit, okay. It's kind of cool that he had the trust and respect for her to actually take care of herself in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, you rarely get a moment like that in this period of filmmaking. Like, I think it was, like, 2007?
Mission Impossible 3, 2006.
Oh, wow, okay. But, yeah, that time period of film, like, especially after the last movie. And even today, you don't really get this kind of dynamic in a movie. I mean, you get the strong female character, but you don't really get like the wife having to step up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just a really interesting like character moment for these two. Again, another little negative is I saw Billy Crudup as the surprise villain from a mile away.
Fair. It's not exactly a rocket science twist, unfortunately.
I mean, he's the voice of Doctor Manhattan, so I'm like, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I feel like any moment I'm just gonna go, and just that's it.
Christ above.
Yeah.
Okay, we should move on with the review.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really think of anything else to say. Like,
It got the franchise back on track. Like I said, it's not a woo problem, but it undid the damage that MI2 did. The reason that Mission Impossible is still a relevant franchise now is because this movie is the way that it is.
oh yeah, this is the movie that like steers it back on track in a really good way. Even though, again, yeah, it feels like a finale. Like the moment they
Yeah.
just walk away at the end, you're like, did they know what they wanted to do with this franchise? Like, were they gonna move it into like a different person? Was Tom Cruise gonna be attached? Because this was also like the time when this was like the crazy Tom Cruise and like the Scientology stuff, the Katie Holmes stuff, the couch jumping stuff,
Right?
the South Park stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was just a lot of stuff going around this time with him that was kind of ruining his overall image. And it was like, I don't know if they're going to continue with this. I don't know. I could see why they were like, maybe we might need to put this in there as like a just in case.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think, I mean, it's telling. This is also the last numbered movie in the franchise before they move on to just having subtitles, which I think is indicative, right, of that thing of like, this in many ways was probably intended to be the last movie of the franchise. And I think if you do watch it as a trilogy, you will get an experience that is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a trilogy, right down to having a shitty middle entry.
Yeah. I guess if I could say one thing, I watched this with my mom. And while we were watching it, towards the end, when like she has to resuscitate Ethan, my mom was just like, "I know he comes back in the later movies, but I'm also on the edge of my seat here. Like, man, I don't know if he's gonna make it."
Yeah, like what if he doesn't?
Yeah, the movie too. This, even though there's like 4 other movies, actually, then like 5 other movies now after this one, you're still like, I don't know, man. Like he's dead here. Like, is he gonna make it?
And I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like what an accomplishment.
Yeah. Good job, J.J. Abrams. Don't do any more movies with star in the title. Please don't do that. So yeah, we're going to wrap Mission Impossible 3 up here. Great movie, great villain, great story, great characters, great directing, great action. Just overall, really good Mission Impossible movie. And yeah, in the next one, we're going to be covering Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. If you want to see that video, hit that subscribe button. If you like this one, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below what you think of the Mission Impossible franchise and what you think of this movie in particular. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and bye.
This video will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.